So these here, I'm gonna update these, cut them up here, and we're gonna get rid of this. This is about a 2 and, I don't know, right here it's about 2 3/4 where they bubble it out, but it's not 3-inch. So I'm gonna cut the collector back, build a new, and put 3-inch right off of here on both of them. So we'll modify those to fit. Quick update on this thing. I put some different shocks on it. So I think I've got Calvert 90-10 shocks in the front. Pretty sure it's a little quick and something adjustable. So I'm thinking maybe putting some QA1 adjustable shocks back here. Not sure. I gotta see what I can get. But I had also thought about getting the 5-way adjustable Calvert shocks, matched them front and rear. There's a big hole where nothing is, which we've talked about. So that's where that's at. Just walk over here. The turbo truck's sitting in here. I changed the push rods in it a little while back. I wound up going with a 100 thou shorter push rod. So it has a 7.3 length push rod in it. Worked out perfect. It has about 1/4 to 1/2 a turn of preload now on the lifters. And it sounds way better and it seems to run way better. Now I'll take you for a drive, good drive once the weather smartens up. Unfortunately, it's been snowy and crappy. So yeah. And then I was gonna finish this box up quick. Got a little worse for wear because it was sitting outside for part of the winter. So we'll get all that finished up. Just thought I'd give you guys a quick update video on what's going on. Over here, I found a GM solenoid that we can hook up to a vacuum line. We'll put a switch and a couple things inside the cab because I do not have provisions for an IAC on the micro squirt. So, but I found if I take this line off the blow off, even at cold, I've built a start table so that it'll idle when it gets to 140-ish, somewhere right around there. I pop this back on, so we'll just make it so we can flip a switch inside. And we'll have cold start potential. Other than that, I noticed we got a brake line on this thing that's leaking, so we got to deal with that. And I got to re-shim the diff a little bit. It's making a little bit of noise. So I think the backlash is a little too much. But get that all fixed up because I plan on driving this a bunch come spring. So that's just a quick update on that and what's going on with it. So, over here on the Galaxy motor, it's all apart. Went over everything. Looks pretty good. I still got to tear into the bottom end, check some bearings. I don't think there's any problems there. I drained the oil the other day. Now, we've been working on our good old ProComp Chinesium cylinder heads here a whole bunch. This one was just cleaned up. And I started scribing some lines. I got the valves all cleaned up. So we're going to back cut these valves, I think 30 degrees this time. Regrind them all. They won't need much, but just a minor touch up. And then like we talked about the seats, well, we got some problems there, but we got everything kind of cleaned up. And we've done some substantial porting on this. So this is where we ended up, and thanks to Scotty, the Mad Porter. And you guys can look him up at Parkland Machine, I think it is. we kind of took his pictures of the yellow block heads. We tried to get rid of that pinch down in there. This was how far I took it the first time. You can still see it's restricted down in the bottom there. So I moved it around, got it so it's a lot better. That's how we're going to leave it. And hopefully by working on the exhaust side a whole bunch with this, we'll get it a lot better. I don't think the flow on the intake side is too terrible. And it sure didn't look like that. It was just on the exhaust side it was bad. So, and this is what we were working with before when we were down and ran miles of Michigan. And I mean, I've made a significant difference, guys. I've got a caliper here, and I'll just kind of show you. I'm just going to make it so that it's adjusted here. Bear with me. I've got one hand doing this and one hand. So it won't go in there, but here. Okay, hold on. Hold on a second. We're gonna make it so that right at the bolt holes there. So the bolt holes here now, it will go in. Huge difference top to bottom. Just kind of trying to give you a comparison. And this is how it was when we ran the 740 45. So it won't go in. I mean, we took out a bunch. You look this way, I mean, we took out a bunch. We can take some measurements here to give you guys some ideas too. So just a second here. So right here, I mean, it was as small as 133 going that way. And this way, we're 169. So now here we're 142 going across section. 182 going the rest of the way. So we made a substantial increase even over here, and that's why we scribed out this line here. We're going to take that out like these ones. So, and this is a lot to what a ported Elbrock head looks like by Parkland Machine. Scotty the Mad Porter. And then down in the bowls, on the exhaust side, I mean, we're, you know, right at, I would say, close to, I measured it 80% of the valve. Now, this is a small valve. Most Fords, big block Fords, Super Cobra Jet, all the good heads ran a 176. This is a 171, so it's a really weird valve. The other thing I noticed with these heads, good old Chinesium from Pro Comp, the exhaust valves, I don't know if you can see it here, and the intake valves are different lengths. And I haven't set up the install height again on the springs, but I'm curious to see how much install difference there is. It looks like it's 20 thousandths for sure. So anyway, that's kind of an update on those, and we'll get the rest of the porting done on them, and we'll get that back together. The intake's off. This is a Torquer 2. It's the carbureted one. I'm debating on whether or not I think we're actually gonna run my Phytech again, because I did have good luck with it. But we're going to use a micro squared ECU with it. So that's an update on the Galaxy for now.
Okay, guys, unfortunately here, we wrecked the rocker. The hoist got it, and the arm slid over and made a mess.
I should go back to my collision days. Just going to show you kind of the setup I was going to use to get this down. So we just used a mow clamp and put a slide hammer on here. Started working it. Then we'll just keep moving the mow clamp. Loosen off the mow clamp. Move her down the rocker. Probably need a hammer here in a few minutes. Tighten this up. Take the slide hammer, and as we give it up, slide hammer back up. You can tell we're already getting it down where it needs to be again. Coming straighter. And we just keep working it from one end to the other. We'll eventually here get it all to where it needs to be. So there, as you can see, we're pulling it back down. Still got a little bit to go. We'll take another bite here and a bite here. Then we'll hammer this all back. Put a straight edge along there. Should be able to get it all pulled back down. Pretty simple setup. We'll touch up the paint and should be good to run another summer once we're all done. All right, guys, as you can see, just kind of rough that in, and just with that bow clamp and that slide hammer and working it, we were able to get it. It's not perfect yet, but I think we're gonna have to bang on the top here a little bit, and then we'll be able to push this back just a touch yet. But it's pretty good, and we were able to rough it in pretty quick. So we'll go from there. It's unfortunate, this was my fault. The arm on the 2-post slipped off the frame because I broke the truck around a bunch of times, and when I went to lift it, I pushed it up. So sometimes when you use these things happen. It just is what it is. So that's why this truck's a driver, not a show queen by no means, but it is pretty good solid steel. Not the greatest steel because this truck kind of got a history with the guy who did these cab corners and this rocker. It wasn't me. But we'll go over that one day. We're going to go over this whole truck here in the next little while. I'm going to show you guys the cheap parts that are all kind of in it. What you can buy on the cheap, what works now that we've ran it for a year or two. And go from there. Hey guys, Mike here. So we sanded out the back of the cab, we buffed it over there, sanded out this corner, sanded down this line. All in 4,000 grit. Trizac. Now we'll buff all that out. Barney's coming to life. Quick update on Barney, and I know I showed some of this before. And this is but 3000 grit, two 3-stage buffed over there. We got a little tiny bit to do. This thing's excellent looking, guys. So kind of can't wait to get the rest of this thing done. Been working on this. This is a little farther than what you see here in the updates for sure right now, but anyway, I just thought I'd do a quick shop video update. As you can see, it's snowy. Anyway, guys, a real quick little update on this. We did the valve seals in it and stuff, and it's sitting out here. I put over 1,000 kilometers on it. So to you guys, it's Americans, that's about 600 miles, and it hasn't used any oil. Doesn't smoke anymore. Everything's starting to clean up really good. So the next thing with this is going to be get rid of the cats, change the exhaust around. I want to put a leveling kit in the front, as you can see why. And we'll put some probably fender flares on it and clean up the rust above the box. So anyway, but it's done smoking. It runs excellent. And even the mileage doesn't seem too bad. So anyway, that's just a quick update on how that worked out, doing the valve seals and everything. All right, guys. So the other thing I was going to say is we're going to be going to the Portland swap meet here. So we got to get the van out of here, do a little bit of work on it, because we'll take it and go to Portland. And I think we'll take the drag and drive trailer too, just in case we got to haul anything home. So anyway, that's just an update on this, and we got a couple things to do, but we'll get out of the snow bank. This looks to be the last of the snow for this year, so hopefully it is, and we'll go on from there.